welcome to the Griffin with Jeza podcast. This is my first selfie stick visual version. Hopefully this works. This is just a test run. So I'm just in this beautiful rainforest in Australia, and it's just absolutely magical. And I'm just thinking about leaving Australia. And I've been sort of pondering this for maybe about a month, and it's really interesting. I've kind of been on the fence because I've basically been traveling for 3 years now, and just there's pros and cons of different countries. Australia is kind of like the comfort zone. My pants are falling down. Australia's kind of like the comfort zone, but yeah, I'm sort of leaning towards going now. So heading north into the tropics. So Malaysia, Japan, then on to UK. So, but we'll see. It's all a big experiment at the moment. And it's just really interesting how wherever you're from, this is a beautiful forest, by the way. But it's just really interesting how, like, wherever you're from, there's a gravitational pull there. Like, there's sort of a slight comfort zone that you'll feel kind of home base. Even though the travel, so I'm basically just taking a one-way ticket, and it's sort of like, there's just zero, and because I've been doing this for 3 years now, there's an awareness that this isn't, like when you're traveling, like you see how like different places has pros and cons. So it's quite interesting. And it's just really interesting how, but your own home, it'll have a gravitational pull there, even when there's negative things there. So something interesting I found is that it's this kind of idea that we feel safety with sameness. Safety with sameness. And there's always a new self dying to emerge, but the old self always wants to stay safe. But it's basically like the concept is, like, is this what is safe? But the ego kind of thinks it's just the known. So, it's quite interesting. And even using this stick, it's just like, part of me can't be fucked. Like, it's just, but it's sort of like, but if you want to expand, you have to really kind of, keep learning new things, and it's just like Australia has its issues, but as a country, like, it's just so beautiful. And when you're in here, you can hear just how magical the this piece of nature is. So this is basically, was this couple hundred years old. I'll put it, I think I can do this. Yeah, so we can just, I haven't quite worked out how to use this thing. No, it's not letting me. I'm trying to give you another view. But anyway, so I'll just put it up for a bit. Pretty cool. It's just really interesting how the gravitational pull of the familiar. And so when you're making a decision, even though there's some familiarity with traveling, for me, it's just really interesting how I can feel there's a pull that just wants that home base, like wants the steadiness. But in some ways, this is like, works opposite to your expansion, So your expansion is always in the new. your expansion is always towards the new thing, towards the just for something new. But your old self wants to stay in the same because there's something about the predictable that feels safer. So, wow, steam. September here, it's supposedly spring. Anyway, so I've come down here, it's kind of raining a bit, and but it is so beautiful. And I would love to be able to work this thing a bit better, but you can just see just how beautiful that is. And you can probably hear the wildlife. Just a pitter patter of rain. So I'm going to make this pretty short today because I'm not even 100% sure how much storage I've got and if this is going to work. But so kind of my theme for today is really, is the decisions you're making based on sameness? Is it based on the familiarity, or is it based on the expansion of something new? And also the other thing that sort of helps in this kind of decision-making process is like, what's the feeling towards the new thing? What's the feeling towards the old thing? And I think for me, in the end, I think we'll go with the new thing as it starts to rain more. We'll go with the new thing just because there's a little bit more feeling there of fun, expansion, and new possibility, something different. It's amazing how like life is so short. We think we have all day, but the time just goes so quick. And so at the end of the day, sometimes you've got to start using a selfie stick before you're ready. So, and just plunder on.
Riffing with Jeza.